How's it going, everyone? It's Nathan Hawken here. So this video is most likely going to be something that you don't want to hear. It may be confronting because I'm going to be talking about reflecting your deep truths. The reason for that is when I'm in a conversation with someone, like a coaching client, one of my key things that I need to do is help my client go deeper than they have ever gone before to find the challenges which they really struggle to shine a conscious light on in their day-to-day life, because it tends to be too difficult to think about. It tends to be too difficult to go that deep on your own, which is why you tend to hire a coach or someone to help you do that. And it's also where your deepest desires, your deepest goals, and your goal behind the goal is as well. And it becomes very important if you're looking for going through a level of growth, you're looking to push past your current level of comfort and get to that next level and create a bigger impact. Reflecting your deep truths becomes essential. So let me ask you this question. Have you ever felt like you're kind of stuck in a loop where you're making the same mistakes over and over and over again? And sometimes you just kind of take a step back and you're like, why do I keep doing this? Why am I always going through the same motions? Why am I always making these same mistakes over and over, even though consciously I know not to do these things? Now, the reason for that is because, like all of us, you have your blind spots. You have those areas which are out of your peripheral, and these are the areas which are sabotaging your potential. These are the areas that have the unconscious actions and the unconscious habits that we do, making the same mistakes over and over. And these blind spots are the things which are really holding you back. And it's these blind spots which are the reason why leaders and people like yourself seek out help. One of the reasons why you're watching this video is because you're like, you know what? I know I have these blind spots. I know I'm stuck in a loop sometimes. I know I keep making the same mistakes over and over, and I need help. These blind spots, as you are aware, are preventing your actions. They are narrowing your thinking, and they're really limiting the potential that you have inside yourself. To overcome this, developing a strong sense of self-awareness is important, and the key to that is humility. Humility to actually realize that you have these blind spots. Humility to realize that they don't always have to be blind spots. And more importantly, humility to do the work inside yourself, to discover the answers you need to discover, to go deeper than you've ever been, to help you take that next step forward. A highly effective way to develop that self-awareness and have the humility is to put in front of you an insight mirror. The insight mirror is a highly transformative technique that you can use, which essentially does just that. It puts up a mirror in front of yourself. And what this mirror does, it exposes your hidden truths. The truths that you know inside yourself that you typically don't want to face, you don't want to confront, because it is very difficult to confront these. And it also shows you the impact that you have on yourself, your environment, and others around you as well. You could also call it self-coaching. One of the reasons people seek out coaches and external help, generally speaking, is because it is difficult to do coaching on yourself. But self-coaching is an important thing. It's something that you can actually do yourself, providing you're willing to take that step and you're willing to put that mirror up in front of yourself, expose yourself to you, and really look at the areas which are holding you back and get raw and real with what you're looking at. So an effective way to utilize an insight mirror or do some self-coaching is this. Number one, so regularly ask your peers, your mentors, your family, your friends for honest and raw input and feedback on things about yourself, how you show up every day, what you're saying, what you're doing, if it's working, if it's not working, if it's causing drama and challenges for other people. This is important because when we get feedback from others, it shines light on things that we don't see in ourselves. Because we go through life and we're thinking that everything we're doing is okay. Well, almost everything we're doing is okay. We're going through life thinking, yep, I'm just doing me. This is who I am. This is how I operate. You don't like it. You need to get over it. And that's all well and good. But when we hear feedback from other people, particularly when we hear the same feedback from other people and it is negative, that's when we have to stop and think and look in the mirror. Wow, looks like I'm the problem at the moment. Looks like this is something that I'm putting out there. So even though someone might say that I'm wrong, when we hear it from multiple people, that's when we have to put up a mirror and think, actually, maybe I'm wrong. maybe I'm not doing this. The key is to create a safe space for these candid responses. This is not just asking people on the fly, hey, tell me what you think of me. This is creating a safe space, creating a safe environment where you can sit down with someone and be like, hey, I want to work on myself. I know I've got some blind spots. I'm using a technique called the insight mirror, and I really want to get some feedback from you about ways that I can improve or what you think I am doing wrong or could be doing better. This is highly important because that feedback from other people really helps clarify the things that we need to change inside yourself and the things that you may not see in your current vision that is going to assist you to move forward to your next level. The second part of this is to really embrace those ugly truths, because it can hurt when we hear this feedback from other people. It can hurt and it can feel really uncomfortable when we find out that there's something that we're doing or something that we're saying or we're just showing up in a certain way that's actually affecting other people. So rather than get all upset by it and make it something that ruins our day or gives us an excuse to not to proceed with what we want to do and really fulfill our goals and dreams and vision, is to embrace that ugly truth. Like, it's not easy, but we have to embrace it. We have to pay attention to those recurring themes in the feedback, because it's these patterns which often point to the blind spots and the areas of growth that we're really looking for. And look, it's not going to be easy, and it may not even be nice, but because it's a safe space, we have to embrace that. And the point is to look for those recurring themes so we can find the areas and the blind spots that we're looking for, because once we find those blind spots, we can shine light on them and then we can move past them and beyond. The third thing you need to do, once you've embraced those ugly truths and you've recognized your blind spots, you need to reflect deeply on those blind spots, on what you've heard. And once you've reflected deeply, you then need to go deeper. Don't just acknowledge the feedback that you're hearing. Dive into why you act or you think in a certain way. Dig down really deep. One of the key things that I understand about coaching and understanding about working with my clients is that the problem is never the problem. So when we hear the feedback, we need to understand that, okay, that's the problem, but it's also a symptom of a deeper problem, which is why I always help my clients go deeper than they have ever been before. So we reflect deeply on what we hear and then we go deeper. The way to do that is we ask why. Why do I behave like that? Why do I think that way? Why do I say those things? When you keep asking why, you will get to a point where it's bedrock. Where the point where you actually hit on the root cause, the real thing, which is the problem. That may be a limiting belief like, I can't get love. There may be a negative emotion like there's an anger or a fear or even a hate in there. And so we keep asking why or what else until we hit that breaking point, that bedrock, because this is where true insight and true change emerges from. So once you hit that bedrock and you're feeling the way you're feeling, understand that as the insights come, things are going to change, which is the fourth thing. So once you've gone through all that, the fourth thing you need to do is to commit to that change. You use your newfound awareness to make conscious changes in your behavior and in your decision making. Now you understand what the problem is. You can make conscious and better choices and decisions to change your behaviors, change what you're doing. It's not easy and it takes time, so there's no quick fix. But because you're more consciously aware, you've raised your self-awareness, you now understand consciously what you have to do so you can make better conscious decisions on a day-to-day basis. And then lastly, you simply repeat this regularly. So the insight mirror or your self-coaching isn't a thing that you do one time. You don't sit down, I've done my insight mirror, I've done a bit of coaching, self-coaching today, and that's it, I'm good. No, this is something that you repeat regularly. You do it on a week-to-week basis if you need to. If it's something that you really want to change, you could possibly do it on a day-to-day basis where every morning you wake up, you get yourself ready, and the first thing you do before you start getting into your task for the day is to hold up the insight mirror and be like, what do I need to work on? What am I not thinking about right now? What do I need to change about myself? And you go through that process. You make it a consistent practice for your continued growth, because there is never a quick fix for all these things. This is the ongoing habit building repeat process, holding up the insight mirror in front of yourself So you're always consistently growing and you're always consistently changing. The main benefits that you get from implementing the Insight Mirror consistently is that you enhance your emotional intelligence. You make more informed and better decisions on a day-to-day basis. You're building stronger and more authentic relationships. And what I think is one of the most important is you're accelerating your personal and professional growth. When you're accelerating your growth, the accomplishment of your goals and what you're seeking to achieve becomes easier because you're able to handle the challenges which are put in front of you in a much more powerful way. And it makes that your goal attainment happen faster as well because you're growing quickly, and that means that you're able to achieve your goals faster, which makes way for the goals which come beyond those goals. And just remember this, that the most powerful insights often come from the reflections that we least want to see. It's not the warm, fuzzy stuff that we like to look at. It's the reflections that we don't want to look at, that we avoid looking at because it's uncomfortable to view them. Embracing your discomfort is a sign of your growth. A task I'll give you now is start today. Choose 1 to 3 trusted colleagues, family, friends of yours, and ask this question. What's one blind spot that I have as a leader? What's one blind spot that I have as a business owner, as a parent, as a sibling, as a friend? What's one blind spot that you see in me that would be beneficial for all of us if I worked on that? It takes courage and willingness to truly hear what's being said. But in reality, isn't everything that's worthwhile? Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope it serves you. Chat to you soon.